On the Fringe with Dan RadioStyle. Hope everybody out there is having themselves a great day. Kind of makes me think of that song, Catch a Wave While You're Sitting on Top of the World, right? Because there's a pretty crazy thing going on here, all this crazy stuff. Got China misbehaving and being called out in this executive order. Going to show about that. Also got a lot of stuff that's coming up with some D-class information. Rod Rosenstein's going to be interviewed here coming up soon. I think June 3rd, I believe, or 4th. So again, a lot of excitement is starting to percolate below our feet as this Q anonymous phenomenon thing starts to happen. And of course, oh yeah, hey, guess what? They're also attacking Q more in the news. We're going to talk more about that as well. So nothing truly can stop what's coming, and I want everybody to understand that. This is kind of already happened, if you will, and how it's playing out as we're experiencing the way it's kind of manifesting in real life. Now, that doesn't mean we don't have to play our part. Yeah, we still got to go vote. We still got to, right? We've got to wake up to what's happening. We've got to talk to friends. We've got to be understanding and forgiving. But at the same time, we've got to understand that we have won this, and it's just an issue of letting it play out. So have patience, please. Post 4345, most new Q information. Information warfare, of course, that is the big thing they're doing right now. Of course, a lot of people are trying to attack a number of things. One, they want us scared. They want us scared, right? So one of the best ways to try to scare people is to create a situation where there's a hopeless no way out. And what we've started to find is when an opportunity to heal ourselves with medicines that exist already, when opportunities show up that we can figure out ways to take care of ourselves and be safe and healthy, then they poo-poo those, right? Then the media gloms on. You get YouTube that'll block your videos, demonetize videos because you talked about this thing on the screen. I'm going to let the doctor talk about it. She's a physician, not me. And I'm going to let her share with you what her thoughts are. So that way, YouTube can't get mad at me because it's not me saying it. It's her saying it. She's a doctor being interviewed.
I love to talk about hydroxychloroquine so much because it's become such a political hot potato. But one of the reasons, or maybe the main reason I started down this path, was the resistance I got when I prescribed hydroxychloroquine. Now, for me as a doctor, I'm there really only for the patient. It's not a two-way street. I am there for the patient. So when I had to prescribe hydroxychloroquine to a couple of patients, I did it. And the next day, I got tremendous pushback. I was stunned. What's really disturbing about this, we got a letter, every California physician got a letter from the California State Medical Board essentially threatening us if we prescribe this medicine. It's very carefully worded. I'm happy to send you an email copy. But it says we have to be cautious about prescribing this. It could be construed as unprofessional conduct. That's enough to stop a doctor from being honest and truthful with the patient about what they need.
So she's making a very, very good point. And again, this is California. Maybe it's not like that everywhere. But it's just very interesting that there is a drug. The president's taken it. His physician prescribed it. You should never, ever take this without the prescription of a physician and going to a pharmacist. That's for sure, right? But there has been a lot of tests done on this. There's been a lot of success that's come from it. It's something that's been used by the military for decades, and it's been approved for malaria, lupus, and whatever, a couple other things maybe. But it's an approved drug already and safe to take in those situations prescribed by a doctor, blah, blah, blah. And so maybe the FDA hopefully can get this approved more quickly. We'll see how that plays out. But again, always, of course, on the news because they want you scared. They do. They don't want you to be like, I'm fine. No, 4346 at Jack, you were warned, and you were. So, of course, there's going to be some accountability that's going to start to fall onto these platforms. Twitter gets called out. YouTube gets called out. Facebook, I believe those are the three that got called out. I can't remember the other ones. We'll see it. But again, they're being called out for what they've been doing. This fact-checking thing that they did on Trump, where it actually turned out the information that Trump was sharing was in fact correct. And there is documented evidence that suggests what he was saying is true. And to just blatantly outright say it's not, and to let CNN be the arbiter of that, is just absurd. So, President Trump did an executive order today, flanked by Attorney Bill Barr, meaning he's on board. And their whole thing is about interpreting Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act. We're going to look at both of these things. 1996. By the way, have you guys noticed how a few different things have come up lately around 1996? Anons, I'm hoping you guys are digging into that because we had the Communications Act that was signed by Clinton. And here's another Communications Decency Act of 96. Whole bunch of stuff I think was happening in 96. What was going on? What led up to it? Just the fact that Clinton's now in office? I don't know. There's got to be something there, but it's certainly very interesting. So his executive order is supposed to instruct Federal Trade Commission to prohibit social media companies from engaging in any deceptive acts or practices affecting commerce. This commerce resides in Section 5 of the Federal Trade Commission Act. So a lot of good stuff kind of showing up in this whole thing. Zuckerberg, I don't know if you guys saw that interview with McCullough, I think it was. No, not McCullough. Dana, I think it is, on Fox. Great interview, actually. Zuckerberg's sort of looking good in this particular case, even though I think everybody pretty much suspects, or any awake people are pretty sure he's tied in with all the wrong people. But here he is kind of pushing Twitter, this technology that's sort of competition to him, out under the bus, if you will. But Section 230 was not intended to allow a handful of companies to grow into titans, controlling vital avenues for our national discourse under the guise of promoting open forums for debate, and then to provide those behemoths blanket immunity when they use their power to censor content and silence viewpoints that they dislike, the order adds. So let's look. I'm going to do this slightly out of order, not that you know, but this is the section code. This is the 230 protection private blocking. It's actually C1 is specifically what gets called out. Protection for good Samaritan blocking and screening of offensive material. Treatment of publisher. Let's get big on this, right? Get big or go home, as they say in Texas. No provider or user of an interactive computer service shall be treated as the publisher or speaker of any information provided by another information content provider. Treatment of publisher or speaker. Protection for Good Samaritan blocking. So this is the thing that they're trying to make sure they define a little better, because this seems to be the place that is being abused right now. Really, let's be honest. These guys have the ability to take away what people are posting and call it hiding behind the Good Samaritan, but all they're doing is they're actually finding that they're taking away opinions that seem to disagree with their opinions. They've also come out with the gentleman that's in charge of shadow banning, if you will, on Twitter, and he's outwardly hates Trump. There's been some Trump exchange back and forth. I think Ratcliffe even texted him a very cool text. So a lot of crazy stuff's going on. So executive order. This is from whitehouse.gov. So Section 1 policy, by the way, this has got to be why President Trump's so freaking busy, right? He's doing all this crap. I know someone wrote this for him, but free speech is the bedrock of American democracy. Our founding fathers protected this sacred right with the First Amendment to the Constitution. The freedom to express and debate ideas is the foundation for all of our rights as people. The big deal on this, obviously, is that it's basically come that Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, blah, 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 all these sources are public places that we can talk, debate, have discussions, speak freely. As long as we're not screaming and fire in a movie theater on these platforms, whatever that means, we're okay, which means no promoting horrible violence. That's never okay, right? No promoting doing bad things. Like they don't let you say that things can heal you that maybe can't, right? That's a little wishy-washy. I'm sure that's going to come in time, but whatever. There's some very drawn out rules, and so long as you got banned because you broke a rule, hey, I think everybody's on board with that. But when you didn't really break a rule, then they ban you or shadow ban you even, and then don't tell you why, or you can't figure out why, then you can't learn from it, you can't change, you can't try to work within the system. Maybe you're not trying to be a rabble rouser, right? Maybe you're trying to, do the right thing. Maybe you're trying to help people, but sometimes they don't like that. They, capital T, who knows who they is. But as president, I have made clear my commitment to free and open debate on the internet. Such debate is just as important as online as it is in universities, our town halls, and our homes. It's essential to sustaining our democracy. Section 2 gets into protection against online censorship. This is where they specifically get into the 230C, which is that section we were looking at just a moment ago. And it is the policy of the United States that the scope of that immunity should be clarified. The immunity should not extend beyond its text and purpose to provide protection for those who purport to provide users a forum for free and open speech, but in reality use their power over a vital means of communication to engage in deceptive or pretextual actions, stifling free and open debate by censoring certain viewpoints. This is in the executive order. They're specifically calling out this behavior around 230C, passed in 1996 by the same individual that passed that Federal Communications Act as well. This decency, maybe this is just the same portion of it, whatever. So we got this whole good faith thing that needs to be defined a little better, for sure. We also, I thought, had something down there. Section 4, Federal Review of Unfair Deceptive Acts or Practices is the policy of the United States that large online platforms, such as Twitter and Facebook, calls them out specifically in this executive order as the critical means of promoting the free flow of speech and ideas today. Should not restrict protected speech. Doesn't help me talk any better. The Supreme Court has noted that social media sites, as the modern public square, can provide perhaps the most powerful mechanisms available to private citizens to make his or her voice heard. Communication through these channels has become important for meaningful participation in American democracy, including to petition elected leaders. These sites are providing an important forum to the public for others to engage in free expression and debate. Now, the one thing I want to say over and over is, I want it fair for both sides. Both sides. I would never want to silence Democrats. I don't like what they have to say either. I don't want to give away everything I have, but I don't want to silence them. And I certainly don't want to silence anybody on the right. All right? Unless they're talking violence, unless they're talking about doing things that are not okay, unless they're making claims that are not legal, right? Like, yeah, asterisks. Okay, got you. Include that every time I talk about it. There's an asterisk. I get it. I should be granted that. So again, they're defining it. Executive order. Huge step by Trump. And this fifth part here, this is pretty cool. The Attorney General shall establish a working group regarding the potential enforcement of state statutes that prohibit online platforms from engaging in unfair or deceptive acts or practices. The working group shall also develop model legislation for consideration by legislatures in states where existing statutes do not protect Americans from such unfair and deceptive acts and practices. The working group shall invite state attorneys general for discussions and consultations as appropriate, blah, 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 blah. It's all talking about complements contained in Section 4B within this thing. It's okay. It just talks about what they're focusing on, trying to make sure that they're not, well, let's just go up to 4B. What the heck, right? 4B, right here. This is the thing, to launch the tech bias report. So they did this online survey to allow people to say, oh my God, I've been wronged by Twitter. I've been wronged by Facebook. They banned me. And they went online. Well, shoot, right after they did it, in just weeks, the White House received over 16,000 complaints of online platform censoring. Now, of course, a bunch of those were probably crap. But I'll bet you money that a bunch of them weren't, and I'll bet you a slew of them had something in common, which might have been their political leanings. Again, painting pictures, trying to give information, trying to get people to wake up, trying to get people to look under certain rocks and just be like, oh, shoot, you're right. That is kind of true. I've had some powerful discussions with some friends of mine on the left recently that have been like, I've found some ways to actually start to tiptoe into their waters and have discussions with them. It's very powerful. Post 4347, coincidence or foreknowledge? It's a big question all of us need to ask. Washington Post is talking about none of these 195 countries, of the U.S. included, is fully prepared for a pandemic. So what they're saying is that nobody can handle these situations on their own. There's no country, of course, that can handle. There's just no country great enough to be able to manage their own people in the case of a pandemic. So what do we need? What do we need? Oh yeah, let's come up with a GHS index, Global Health Security Index. Let's give an index. Let's give you a grade or a score and see how you like that. See how that works out. Oh, I didn't realize that was Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation that are supporting this. Oh, I should have been paying attention. I should have realized that that's all they were trying to do. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry for bringing it up. I'm sure it was an accident. I hope you guys forgive me. Post 4348, sample. You got two little posts here. Is this fear? Is this panic? Is this loss of the narrative? Is this what they're trying to do? Keep their control, but they can't seem to? The news media says stuff, and a lot of people are like, I don't know if I believe you anymore. And they're like, no, I swear I'm telling you the truth. And like, yeah, every time someone says, no, seriously, I'm being honest, it usually means whatever comes out of their mouth next is a big fat friggin' lie. Yeah, so I doubt that's the case, right? No, of course not. These are upstanding individuals, large corporations, very rich individuals at the top that control the opinions of many people. I'm sure that power hasn't gone to their heads, and the fact that they can make gobs of money off manipulating people. No, I mean, it's unlikely, right? I'm sure they're stand-up citizens, right? Of course they are. But here, New York Times politics, the internet has connected us in ways unimaginable. But the QAnon community, no, watch out for them. United in the beliefs that the world is run by the criminal elite. Shows the dangers of that power. Listen to Rabbit Hole. Yeah, of course. That's what you go down every time you think a Q post, because their best interests are constantly demonstrated to us, constantly showing us how much they care about us, we the people. With their actions of locking us in our houses, shutting down our businesses, trying to put us in jail when we try to open back up our businesses because we're starving, actually kill us in the streets over a fake $20 bill. Really? Really? No. Yeah, no, I'm sure I'm the one that's crazy. It's not the mainstream media that's saying all this crazy stuff. It's us. Oh yeah, here's another thing. Inside the First Church of QAnon, where Jesus helps us fight the deep state. Yeah, so they find like one of the craziest sites, and I'm sure this guy's wonderful, don't get me wrong, but they go down the whole biblical thing, and this guy, and they give this cool with the pyramid with the all-seeing eye at the top. I mean, this guy is right on the money, the world monarch, the crown council, which, don't get me started on the world monarch, but there's some pictures of her recently where she was in a formal thing, and she wasn't wearing the crown and the gloves. And I don't know if it's true or not, man. There's a lot of crazy stuff that's spinning around out there. Might be fun to look into. But anyway, a lot of stuff is going down this whole path. Prayer is not a weapon. Prayer is not a piece of the armor. Prayer is the war itself, right? They grab Russ Wagner, who, I don't know, probably comes off a little weird, maybe, right? Like, this is going to be our spokesperson? I don't think that's the case. Hey, look at this guy. I like this guy a lot. This is post 4349. And when I say that, I mean that facetiously. He always has like his face is afraid of his skull, and it's just like sliding off. Have you noticed that even the bags under his eyes look sad? This is a very sad man. Destroying America will be my culmination of my life's work. I don't know how to say his voice. He's got a very, I think I have an example of it, maybe open someplace. We'll see. But he's got a kind of that Germany accent. Maybe it's Austrian. I don't know where he's from, but it's got that kind of sound to me. And he just epitomizes. I feel like he should have Hillary like just wrapped around like in a noogie rub or something, because something's going on there. Anyway, 4350. Did I probably missed something? No, that was it. Nobody escapes this. You're going down, big guy. I think that's what he's trying to say. Post 4350. Got another great Twitter post here. DNI Ratcliffe issues statement on declassification of transcripts. This is, of course, the official count of the Office of the DNI's Twitter, and it's got the checkbox, so that's how I know. As I stated throughout the confirmation process, transparency is vital. I don't know why I'm using the radio voice. Is vital to allowing American people to have confidence in the intelligence community. As the Director of National Intelligence, it is my obligation to review declassification requests with the overarching priority of protecting sources and methods while also providing transparency whenever possible. Accordingly, today, the Office of the Director of National Intelligence declassified transcripts concerning Lieutenant General Michael Flynn. Yeah, a bunch of stuff got declassed today. In fact, he then drops us another post that's like, dude, check out this person. Harridge, you guys probably know her. She used to be on Fox. Worth following, declass designations. I will put her Twitter page on, her link, because, dude, seriously, just quick scan. I grabbed a couple of these. We're going to grab some stuff. There's a bunch of stuff. By the way, look at these Sharpies. She just tears these Sharpies. She can work through a Sharpie. Anywho, a lot of stuff going on with this lady. And she's, I don't know, they gave her the leak. I don't know how the exclusive happened. She's apparently with CBS now, whatever the heck. But A lot of cool stuff going on with Flynn. Let's see. This is the important part, I think, after reading all of it. And I'll relay the thing about the 21st to see if we can't do something along those lines. And I can't commit to it, but I certainly will relay it. Thank you. Wonderful. I'm trying to do my crappy accent, right? So certainly we'll relay it. And then I appreciate very much the reservations about the current administration's position on the Middle East. That does not do anybody any good right now. With, Ambassador, the situation with Hamas and the Palestinian situation. We'll come up with a solution that's good for everybody. We will. Nowhere in this call that I could find does Flynn say anything that's like tick for tack. I don't know if this is the one I've read so many of these things. There was one of them literally where he's telling him specifically, that's not what I'm trying to do here. So I don't think it was this guy. And then down here, he's like, I'm a soldier. I'm a practical guy. I'm going to try to do my best. She also shares this one. United States, Thursday, June 4th, 2020, 10 a.m. at the SR 325 Russell Senate Office Building. The agenda. Motion to authorize the chairman to issue subpoenas for records and testimony to U.S. government agencies and to individuals relating to the Federal Bureau of Investigation's Crossfire Hurricane investigation. The DOJ Inspector General's review of that investigation and the unmasking of U.S. persons affiliated with the Trump campaign. Crossfire Hurricane is going under the microscope. Again, people are like, when's something going to happen? When are people going to get arrested? They're working on it. They are. I swear. It happens at government speed. Don't think all of a sudden now that we want to shut down the swamp that suddenly the government just sped up and started working at like normal conventional speeds. No, it's still the government. Very much so. Former Deputy AG Rod Rosenstein's statement on upcoming June 3rd testimony. Apparently, there's 17 inaccuracies in here. I can't really honestly say if I agree that the things that she's highlighting and putting, I don't see anything. But I think the point that she's trying to make is Rosenstein made a lot of lies, probably. And that's going to end up biting him in the buttocks, as one might say. And here's the signature. Sincerely, Mr. Ratcliffe, John Ratcliffe. Yeah, Lieutenant Michael Flynn, retired. Transcripts, please find the enclosed declassified documentation. That's right. May 29th, 2020. That is when we're doing this. I don't know why that's the accent. Doesn't matter. Lieutenant General Mike Flynn's phoned Ambassador Secretary Kislyak to express his condolences on the death of the GRI director Igor Sergen, who died unexpectedly today from unknown causes. Is that not even weird? Really? This is... Holy crap. Is there anything... big? I didn't actually see all these extra pages. All right, well, that being said... And more from Flynn, Kislyak, Summary, CBS News transcripts, also declassified. Again, there is a treasure trove of declass information. I'm sure Anons are pouring through it. We're going to get some cool stuff that's going to come out of this. But again, the story's being continued. These things are crescendoing. We're building towards the election. You've got to remember this, people have like 5-day short attention span, right? They can't remember things any longer. We've got these riots in the news right now that are definitely hogging a lot of cycles, but there's still this underlying tsunami that's coming, much like this original picture that I was sharing. This tsunami's coming. Nothing can stop it. It's coming. We can see it in the distance. We can see the direction it's coming from. We just need to let it happen and come. Fortunately, it's not going to be something that's going to annihilate us like this poor guy. This guy's toast. He doesn't even at least have a boogie board, right? Like, that's a bummer. Yeah, something. You don't need a leash. You're probably going to lose it. That being said, if you guys like the work I've been doing, and I appreciate each and every one of you, love you guys, please subscribe to my channel as a first. That helps. Bell notification if you like the stuff I'm doing and you want to be notified. That always helps. Also, if you could, thumbs up on the video, share it with anyone you can. That actually helps get around a lot of the algorithm issues that we've got. Appreciate it. We're going to be doing more videos. I've also got a Law of One series that I'm going to try to continue. I've had a number of people that have pestered me on that. That's something I started before I got into Q on this channel. So I'm going to start doing some of those as well, or some more of those. So stay with me. A lot of great information is going to be coming on The Fringe with Dan RadioStyle.